Well, hey guys, welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. It's great to have you here. Today it is, yes, today is Tuesday. It's April 14th, 2026. It is one day before tax day. If you guys didn't know that, taxes are due tomorrow. And everyone always asks me, what time, and you need to have your return stamped before midnight. So 11:59 is still okay. It has to be postmarked by 11:59 a.m. Now, people always ask me, does the post office stay open on April 15th? And, that's a great question. Basically, it depends on your area. I mean, to be quite honest with you. So let's say New Jersey, does the post office stay open? So says a lot of areas they do. So for example, let me just put here, I'll put our area here, Jersey. And it says here, so it looks like they do stay open late. If you're mailing your tax return this year, you're going to want to make sure it's postmarked by April 15th. According to the IRS, more than 213.3 million returns and other forms were filed electronically for the fiscal year 2020. Well, that was actually 2025. And that represented more than 70% of all the filings. So the question is, this is a great question, which post offices will be open late in New Jersey, April 15th? Let's just check that out. Okay. If we look here to see if any of them are going to be open tomorrow late, because that's probably what you want to do. You can go to USPS.com. I thought this was kind of important to do, so that's why I'm doing it. So tomorrow, let me just see here. Tomorrow is tax day, and it's Wednesday. I'm just trying to find one that's confirmed because it's hard to find it. USPS post office open late on April 15th. Now, I would also check. So it looks like, let me just see where it is. So tax day looks like post office still need to mail it. Okay, so people that have to mail it, obviously. So post office hours on tax day. So basically, the thing is, not all of them are open. So you have to check. The postmark rules, first of all, could mean your on time mailed return could be considered late by the IRS. So make sure that you have all the proper stuff in, or it will be considered late filing. Collection times can impact the postmark date for your tax return. So the USPS says mail must generally be deposited before the last collection time at the post office or the collection box on April 15th to receive an April 15th postmark. So, guys, they're really not saying much here this year about it, if they're going to be open or not. What time is the tax deadline? Well, they're saying like 11. So it looks like it's not advisable to do it too close because you have to go to a line. So you want to make sure you allow at least, half hour or more. And so it's not telling me, but it's saying most of your post offices will be open till midnight. So yeah, I would check out your location and find out if it is open, because not all of them. So again, there's a new USPS rule that could make your return late even if it's mailed on April 15th. If you're one of the millions of Americans who plans to drop the tax return in a mailbox on April 15th, you need to stop and pay attention. A recent significant change in how the U.S. Postal Service handles postmarks could turn your on-time filing into a costly mistake, triggering automatic penalties from the IRS. Understanding this new rule is critical to protecting your finances in these final hours of tax season. So this change is part of the USPS's Delivering for America initiative. Previously, mail was often postmarked on the day it was collected from a mailbox. Now, the official postmark is applied only when the mail reaches and is processed at a regional sorting facility. This means an envelope dropped in a collection box on the afternoon of April 15th might not be picked up transported, and processed until April 16th, resulting in a postmark that the IRS will deem late. So, how the rule redefines it. So, the IRS strictly adheres to the postmark date on your envelope as proof of timely filing. The new USPS procedure explicitly states that the postmark reflects the date an automated machine first processes the mail, not when you hand it to a carrier. So let me say that again. So the new USPS procedure explicitly states the postmark reflects the date an automated machine first processes the mail, not when you hand it to a carrier to place it in a collection box. So the operational shift creates a dangerous gap, and the consequences are not trivial. If your return is postmarked after April 15th, well, then that is going to be a problem. So fortunately, you can still file by mail on April 15th and guarantee an on-time postmark. The key is to get proof of acceptance directly from a USPS employee. So here are 3 things you can go. You can go to the counter, approach a postal clerk, and ask them to hand cancel it out, very important, or apply a round date stamp to your envelope. This manual circular stamp is the classical postmark and serves the official proof of date. You can get a PVI label at the retail counter. You can pay for postage and receive a postage validation imprint. And this white rectangular sticker includes the date and is accepted by the IRS as the official postmark. You can use certified mail, often called the gold standard, for important documents. Sending you return via certified mail provides you with a stamped receipt. So here's another report. We're kind of deviating before the show, but I know this is kind of important. So if I have a postage machine and it is stamped, okay, April 15th, will that be late or on time? So it's tricky because, again, they've changed their rules. Okay, they have changed their rules. And so, like I said, the postage machine now, so you know this, is not considered an official postmark by the IRS. Let me see. Your postage machine that you've had from Pitney Bowes or Quadient is not considered an official postmark by the IRS. So if your tax return is postmarked after April 15th, it may be treated as late, even if you mailed it on that date. To ensure timely filing, it is best to use a USPS counter service or certified mail for proof of mailing, and of course, keep those receipts. So I know the days, wasn't too long ago, that you could actually go to the post office as long as it was stamped from your machine, because your machine could technically be the date, but the new rule says that you cannot do that anymore. So I thought I would share that with you because a lot of people are getting ready to file their returns. All right. So, guys, if you are new here, I want to take the opportunity to say welcome. If you've been here once or many times, of course, I want to say welcome back. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Really do appreciate that. Before I do kick off the show, I want to let you know you could check out more of my great content at believemeachieve.com. That's short form, long form articles, and so much more. I also want to tell you that very soon, on April 17th at 1:30 p.m., I become an official author, and my first book is being released. Now, what is the title? I'm not sharing that. The big reveal of the title will happen at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. This coming Friday, April 17th, there'll be an interview between myself and my 2 parents. Be asking some questions. It'll be an IFYL show, but we're going to have a big segment on there about the book. We'll show you the book. Actually, give you the big title reveal, which everybody's been waiting on. And after that, you can actually get the book. So really excited about that opportunity, guys. All right. So let's kick this off. This is Inspirations for Your Life, in case you did not know that. Yep, that's the Inspirations for Your Life show. It is, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday. And what actually changes thinking? It's Series 5, Show 16, Episode 4. The master topic for this entire week is how people actually change their direction without realizing it. How people quietly change direction is not about one powerful idea. Nope. It is about repeat exposure, new inputs, and patterns that slowly reshape how they think over time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. I'm an engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student, and a passionate lifelong learner. And soon, yes, I will be a published author. If you are watching this before April 17th, if you're watching it after April 17th, well, that means I am an author. So I'm breaking down something most people misunderstand. They think one idea will change everything, one insight, one realization, but that's not how thinking actually changes. Thinking changes through exposure, through repetition, through what you see, hear, and experience over and over and over again. You see, your mind, ladies and gentlemen, is not flipped by one moment like a light switch. It is shaped, okay, and molded by what surrounds it consistently. And it gathers that by what it sees, hears, touches, sees, hears, touches, tastes, and smells, and also the proprioception of our body, right? So these are important things to understand. The first point is thinking. Thinking follows exposure. What you repeatedly see begins to shape how you interpret the world. A quick observation, guys. As I said, my book is coming out, and even though a lot of the stuff very true to me, it was all true story, and I lived it, the book became even more real. The concept became even more real and taught me more after I finished writing it. It was funny because I did all these things, but now they got accelerated. As Ember would say, they got kicked up a notch. Number two, guys, ideas repeat before they stick. A single idea rarely changes anything without repetition. Now, something cool I want to share with you. So I have my RO water here. By the way, feel free to go grab yourself something. And I have some lemon in here. And a real neat thing about RO water, or any water, you put lemon in there. The lemon actually curbs your appetite, and it's really refreshing, especially after a long walk that I just had. Number three, guy, new inputs reshape beliefs. Fresh information challenges existing patterns. Number four, guys, perspective comes from contrast. Seeing different viewpoints expands your thinking and encourages you to challenge yourself and to learn. Number five, experience overrides theory. We've said that you can go to school and learn something, but if you can learn from somebody who's already done it, that's better than learning from books. Real world exposure changes thinking faster than ideas alone. I'm going to give an example. So you can learn about a country. So I went to a lot of places. I was very grateful to going to Europe several times. One of the places I went was Italy. My grandparents took me on my mom's side. And people said, oh, you're going to Italy. That's an amazing opportunity. But I never realized that what it would take me maybe several years to learn in books about Italy, I learned in just a month. Because immersion, experience, that's how we learn languages. That's how we learn about cultures. Number six, guys, you believe what you see. Often repetition builds familiarity, and familiarity builds belief. Number seven, guys, repetition rewires the brain, creates the neural pathways around. Consistent input strengthens certain thought patterns. It does. Number eight, understanding builds over time. Clarity is developed, not downloaded instantly like you would have with your computer. It's an awareness to how it's built and shaped, right? And molded. Number nine, guys, exposure creates awareness. You cannot change what you do not see. If you don't see it, if you don't experience it, if you can't measure it, can't change it. Number 10, guys, awareness drives change. Once you notice something, it begins to, well, subtly shift. Number 11, thinking adapts constantly. Your mind is always adjusting to new information. Number 12, you update beliefs slowly. Most thinking evolves gradually, not instantly. I have to tell you that, not instantly. Number 13, new data shifts perspective. Additional information changes interpretation. One little piece of information, guys, can change your thought pattern, your belief about something, whether that is something big or something small. It can have a subtle shift. Number 14, guys, context changes interpretation. The same idea can mean different things in different environments, right? We've learned about context with certain words, and using them differently can have completely different meanings. Same idea. Number 15, information creates options. More input creates more possible directions, more opportunities. Number 16, guys, options create decisions. Choices expand when thinking expands. Number 17, decisions shape thinking. What you choose reinforces how you think. Number 18, thinking evolves with input. Your direction follows what you consume. Number 19, static input creates static thinking. Repeating the same ideas limits growth. Number 20, dynamic input creates growth. New exposure expands possibilities. New exposure expands the possibilities. Number 21, guys, variety expands perspective. Diverse input increases understanding. Number 22, narrow input limits thinking. When we narrow our pathway, we close off the potential opportunities. And when we get limited outcomes, that's a problem for us. Number 23, guys, insight builds gradually. Doesn't happen overnight. Clarity develops step by step. Number 24, you learn through patterns. Everything, whether it's language, whether it's a new skill, you learn by patterns, because when we know how to do something, we try to adapt it to that and see how it's different, right? For example, if I taught you how to, let's say, screw a screw in with a Phillips head. Now I said do it with a flathead. It's the same basic technique, but maybe you have to position the screwdriver differently, right? So you can get it in the notch as opposed to just pushing it down. So you have to be a little bit more careful of that, right? And you got to be careful in a flathead that it doesn't slip off if you turn it too fast. That doesn't really happen with a Phillips head, all right? So you learn through patterns, and repetition forms the understanding. And the understanding helps us to have new awareness, create new bridges to more information, and to ask more questions. Number 25, guys, patterns reveal truth. Consistency exposes what actually works. What's consistent just exposes what works. Number 26, guys, exposure reduces bias. Seeing more reduces blind spots. Seeing more reduces blind spots. Number 27, guys, repeated signals become beliefs. Repeated signals become beliefs. What you hear often starts to fuel the truth. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. I don't want to say not because they don't want to hear it. It's because they're scared of the outcome and what could happen. And that will probably be one of the biggest challenges for, a lot of people, how that will work, what's going to go on. I think that's a very, interesting thing of, what's going on and, why it's going on. So that's a very, very interesting thing. Number 28, guys, beliefs drive behavior. Thinking determines action. Thinking determines action. Thinking determines action. Thinking determines action. Number 29, guys, behavior reinforces thinking. Actions strengthen beliefs. Now, I know a lot of you here listening to me or watching the show are saying, John, I get this, but for whatever reason, it's not clicking with me. That's okay. Many times when you hear something the first time or even the second time, it doesn't quite click. Maybe you've noticed this in some of your studies when you were in school or college or what have you, and the professor said something, but it didn't quite register upstairs. Had nothing to do with whether you're smart or not. It just, maybe they didn't present it the way that you need to see it. It just didn't click. And then maybe one night when you were with your buddies, that whole concept just clicked out of nowhere. Maybe you saw something that just caused it to click. And I think a lot of people today expect clicks to happen like. The truth of the matter is, when we want them to happen over and over like that, you know what happens? They don't click. They get harder for us. And when they get harder for us, it's like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? What am I doing now? And I think that's a very, big problem for, a lot of people, right? I think that's a big problem for a lot of people. And I will tell you that this is something that many people will shy away from. And it's not because they can't do it. It's because they might become frustrated with maybe the environment that they're in. Maybe they are not just frustrated. Maybe they're not doing it because of something someone else said. And I said this to you guys before many, many times being on the air. No one has the right, let me say the word, no one has the right to make you feel inferior about yourself, except for one person. You know who that one person is? You. You're the only person that can make yourself feel inferior. No one else has that right or that permission. No one, guys. No one. So, ladies and gentlemen, thinking shifts through repetition. Change happens through consistency. A lot of people want that consistency to happen right away, but it doesn't. And then they get so frustrated. Sometimes they give up. In closing, guys, here is the shift you need to make. Are you ready? Stop waiting for the one idea to change everything. That's not going to happen because it won't. Your thinking is not built in a moment. Newsflash, it's not. It is built over time. Pathways are created, new observations are conceived, new questions are asked. Through what you expose yourself to, okay? And it might be different each time. Through what you allow into your environment. Remember, I said your environment is like priceless. So you've got to be very careful about what you allow in your environment. That is key. Your environment can drain you. Your environment can refuel you. Do you know what your environment is doing? I mean, I'm just being honest about that. If you don't know about your environment, you don't really know why your environment is getting you to feel that way, well, you've got to maybe figure that out first. It might be something where a light is placed. It might be the way a chair is turned, or maybe the room that you have. You don't have enough to maneuver your fingers. Many of you guys know here where I'm set up at this station here. I have my laptop. It's all on a nice little stand with a fan. I have my nice MX Logitech keyboard that I can type. I have plenty of room. I have my MX mouse, and I have a lot of room. And it's flexible. What do you need in your environment to feel comfortable? Okay. If you want to change how you think, this is a question. I'm not telling you. I'm saying if you want to change how you think, how many of you out there want to change how you think? You want to change? You have to change what you see. You want to change what you think, you have to change what you see. And not just what you see, guys, what you hear, what you touch, what you taste, what you smell. You have to change your world and the way it is being presented to you. That's key, guys. Change what you hear. Change what you engage with. Change what you see. Change what you taste, you smell. And those are important things because the inputs you allow, and it's your choice, guys, to allow, become the thoughts you have. We said this before. What we focus on, right? What the thoughts that we focus on, wherever we put our attention, focused on those thoughts, is where the energy is going to go. You're saying, oh, I don't want that. But you keep focusing on it. The more you focus on it, the more that you're going to gravitate that into your life. And that's important, guys. And the thoughts that you have become direction you take. They're the actions you take. So if your direction isn't where you want it to be, you have to start with your inputs. Let me give you a simple example here with, doing professional audio recording and video. If my output is not where I want it to be, I need to adjust my inputs, right? I need to make sure that they're not garbage, that they're not gargled. I need to make sure of that because if I don't, and the output comes up crummy, I'm not going to be happy. So I make sure that my inputs are clean. And if I have to do any processing to it, I can. But if your inputs are lousy, your output's going to be lousy. I mean, I'm just saying, guys. So start with your inputs. Now you might say, John, what are my inputs? It's a great question. Could be your lighting. Could be the sounds around you. We talk about productivity music. It could be something as simple as what you're wearing. It could be the chair or the, let's say, the cushion you're sitting on, right? That affects you. Could be what you're smelling, the smell in the environment. A lot of people have done tests on this where certain smells will get you to be more productive. Maybe it's what you had for lunch, right? So that's where change actually begins. And if we're trying to just say, well, gee, no, this is fine, I don't need to do this, you're missing a key awareness ingredient. And that is every part contributes. So let me see if I can give an example. If we're going to add three things together, A plus B plus C equals. If I say A is 2, B is 2, and C is 2, 2, 4, 8. If I change C to 4, 2, 4, right? So 2, 4, 8, okay? But if you listen to that, I want to add them. So 2, 4, 6 is really the right answer. We have to know what the inputs are. Is the input going to be adding? Is it going to be subtracting? So 2, 4, 6 is the real answer. If I go 2, 2, 4, it's 2, 4, 8. The inputs make the difference, guys. For more insights, clarity, and strategies to help you think better and act intentionally, I invite you personally to visit believemeachieve.com. Your next level starts with what you expose your mind to. You have a choice, ladies and gentlemen, of what you do, when you do it, and how you do it. Don't let your environment become this place that gets out of your control. Because just like we can control inputs on a mic or mixes for a show, you can control everything in your life. Now, I'm not saying to control others. I'm saying control the variables in your environment. Is that the lighting? Is that the cushion? Is that the position? Right? Is that the way your computer's set up? Is that the clothing you're wearing? The temperature of the room? These are all key, guys. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Have yourself a wonderful evening. I'll catch you real soon, and check out believemeachieve.com.